it was the distortion that allowed you to play chords. And nearly the whole of Joy Division's output was chordal. All the bass was playing droning strings as well as high strings. And it was that in particular that Ian Curtis loved, and would always, whenever we came to play, to practice, he would always insist or encourage you to play in that fashion. The speaker that I had cost $15, and it sounded like $15. So basically when you played low, as most bass players do, it just was, and you couldn't hear any tone at all. So I could only play high, and it was the only way I could hear it, because the guitarist had a fantastic amp, a Vox UD30. But yes, the distortion on the valves allowed you to play it more like a guitar. And because you were playing it higher, it cut through more. You were able to hear it. So it was born out of necessity, but I suppose in my mind it must have been there. Yeah, so Martin Hannett, who was Joy Division's producer, suggested going big, which I did. And I went to the Alembic preamp through Amcron DC300A. I used a chorus pedal, and I was just getting into echo. So I used a Yamaha Echo. I mean, it's quite funny now to look back and see how you get boxes that are tiny, that do everything, you know, and in those days they were all rack mounted and they were huge. But I do think that they had a depth of sound that really you don't get today. And a characteristic, each unit seemed to be different.
So kindness, wisdom took me by the hand.
The loud one lasted quite a long time actually, until the lead singer became a bit of a prick. And then everybody had to turn down. So yeah, and it wasn't the same, because these big amps that are built for power, they only sound good when you've got them on 3/4 or full. So I had to backtrack and go smaller, which was very unsatisfying actually, because it's very difficult to find things that are small for me, for my sound, that sounded good. And I must admit that when I listened to old tapes from the 88, 89 period, you know, that was where the sound changed. And you can almost hear the watering down, really, which sort of coincided with the watering down of the group, funnily enough.